The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be reacting to another Ray William Johnson video. This huge TikTok star is in big trouble. Unfortunately, I do not keep up with TikTok, so I'm not all up on TikTok. So, huge TikTok star, I have no idea who this is. But also, I wonder what she did. So, let's get into the video, and please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below.
Remember this TikToker?
What'd she do?
Her drama had TikTok in a chokehold. Let me tell you what happened to her. Now, her name is Digital Princess, and she's 26, and she's a TikToker living in Florida.
Hey guys, what's up? It is,
And she has built herself an audience of over 2 million followers.
Okay.
Not bad. But one night in 2021, she screws it all up. Because Digital Princess is chilling at home, and she runs into a problem. She really needs to leave the house and go meet up with some friends. Problem is, she has this 4-year-old son. This kid, who we'll just call Lil Guy. And Lil Guy is asleep on his bed.
Okay, so, I don't understand people. If you want to have a free life and not have to worry about other things like kids, then why do you have kids? I don't understand. Even if the child was an accident, too late, now you're a mom, so hello, take up your mom responsibilities.
And she either can't or doesn't want to take him with her. So Digital Princess just leaves. Like, she leaves
Oh my
there,
gosh.
and she drives 11 miles away, I guess, to see her friends.
And she doesn't know anyone to, like, babysit. Like, the common thing to do and the responsible thing to do is if you want to meet your friends and you have a kid, then usually you find a babysitter or something. But you can't do that. You couldn't invite your friends to the house or whatever. I don't understand.
Now, at some point, Lil Guy wakes up, and he's probably confused, maybe a little scared, probably calling out for his mom, and she doesn't answer. And once he realizes she's not there, he's like, guess I'll just go outside and look for her. So this 4-year-old kid leaves the house.
Not him
and
going outside.
Wandering the
Okay, so she never taught him to stay in the house, especially at nighttime. Like, that's what she should be teaching him instead of going outside.
Neighborhood late at night looking for his mom. And an hour goes by, and Lil Guy is still out there. But by this point, he's distraught and he's crying, probably feeling super scared. But then, around 10 o'clock, a local woman is out on a neighborhood walk. She sees him and...
Why is everyone walking outside at night? I don't know. Maybe she's on her way home, but if this is the actual woman that found him, usually older people are in their houses at this time. So what's she doing outside?
She's like, what the f*** is a little
Maybe
kid
he's
doing
meant
out
to
on the
be.
road all by himself? And so she takes Lil Guy to a nearby neighbor's house, and she knocks on the door. And she asks this neighbor if he can help figure out who this kid belongs to. And immediately, the neighbor calls the police. Minutes later...
So the lady couldn't call the police herself? Why did she have to go to another house to ask for help? Maybe she didn't have a phone. I don't know.
Police roll up, and they talk to Lil Guy, and they ask him where his mom is, and of course he doesn't know, because he's 4. And so police start walking around the neighborhood, talking to neighbors, trying to figure out where this kid lives. And finally, they find his house.
He doesn't remember where he lives?
It's the only house with the front door left wide open. And so they get the homeowner's number, Digital Princess, and they call her, and they're like, you know, your kid is wandering around out in the street looking for you. And so she immediately starts driving home. Minutes later, she shows up to her house, and there's police officers everywhere. And old Digital Princess is wearing a little black, like, cocktail dress. She's dressed like she just went out to the club. So to everyone there, it looks like she abandoned her kid to go out to some nightclub.
They're right.
And I don't think that's actually true, but whatever. This looks really bad for her. And so she immediately goes inside and changes into pajamas, which was smart. And so police, they start asking her questions like, where the hell were you? Why'd you leave your kid home alone? And Digital Princess is like, oh, I was just out buying laundry detergent at the 7-Eleven.
Let me guess. She's gonna smell like alcohol.
I wasn't gone long. She was allegedly gone 2 hours. And they're like, do you have a receipt for that laundry detergent you say you bought? And she's like, nah. And she ends up showing them a bottle of laundry detergent. But here's the thing, the bottle she shows them is half empty. So she couldn't have just bought it. So police know that this is bullshit. But then, Digital Princess's mom rolls up, Lil Guy's grandma, because police had called her as well. And grandma is shook that Lil Guy was left alone, because, you know, grandmas be protective like that. But also,
So why, wait, he's gonna say something about the grandma, but before he does, I want to ask, if she's able to come there at this time, why did you not call her first to watch your son in the first place?
grandma happens to live nearby. So Digital Princess could have called her to watch
Hello?
Lil Guy while she was gone, and she didn't for some reason.
She's missing something in her brain.
Grandma drops a bomb.
What?
Where's her nanny? I don't know where the nanny is.
Does she usually have a nanny?
She has a nanny. Yeah, a full-time nanny.
So apparently Homegirl also has a full-time nanny that she probably could have asked to.
Didn't I mention that earlier? Like, people usually get a babysitter or something, and she knows this person, so what's wrong with her? See, some people are not meant to have kids.
Watch Lil Guy. And so all this is looking really bad for her. And so eventually, bam, police arrest her. Here's her mugshot. And they charge her with child neglect while they temporarily hand Lil Guy over to his grandmother. But then, 12 hours later, Digital Princess gets out on bail. So now she's free to go. And it's fine, none of her fans will ever know what she did, and there's not going to be
They're gonna find
any
out.
kind of public backlash from any of this.
Until. How'd I know?
Here's the thing about the internet. The internet likes to talk, and news of Digital Princess's arrest blows the f*** up, and it starts trending. And people hear about it, and they're freaking out, and her fans are all mad at her, and they're turning on her, like, how could you do this to your own child? And they're making memes about it, like, dude, where's my kid? And this drama is everywhere on TikTok. Like, in 2021, this was the OJ trial
Dang.
of TikTok. And so now, Digital Princess has to
Wait, but
respond.
was this during the lockdown or no? I don't know.
And she has to get on camera and make a statement, and so she does.
Hi guys, I just wanted to come on here and say that I do see your comments, I do see your concerns, and I know there's a lot of things being posted online that are very out of context and very much untrue, so please do not believe everything that you will read on the internet.
But the thing is, people take this as her saying a lot of untrue things are being said about what happened that night. Like, people are lying about the situation. However, people on the internet are like, wait, bro, what untrue things are being said? We read the police report. But so then, Digital Princess seems to get like a little attitude about it, and she doubles down.
People online feel like they are entitled to know everything about my life because I have a platform, and they think that they can demand answers from me about my life.
And also, like, yeah, she did something bad. But I don't know. I feel like some people are way too obsessed with other people's lives, and like, okay, you could leave a comment, but how many comments do you have to leave? How many videos do you have to watch to like leave a comment and like basically stalk her online just to get your point across? Like, yeah, you can have a bad opinion about her. What she did was wrong, but do you not have a life of your own to worry about?
That has nothing to do with them. People online want to act like they know everything about my life, when in reality, you only get
But
to
yeah,
see
like I said, some
15
people aren't meant to have
60
kids,
clips of
especially
my life.
And this, of course,
the
makes
reason
the internet
she went
even
out.
more mad at her. Now, around this time, the district attorney's
The
office...
reason she went out, and she has a mom that lives close by, and she has a nanny. So yeah, I agree. Something's wrong with her. She's weird. But so there's people that are obsessed with her and following everything that she does just to leave comments and stuff. I think that's kind of weird too, because don't you have a life? Like, after I react to this video, I'm gonna go back to my life. But they're like all up in her life.
Who's prosecuting this case drops a huge bomb on everyone.
Uh-oh.
They've decided to drop all the charges against her.
Who's she
Now,
paying?
it isn't clear if they didn't have enough evidence to prove child neglect or if this was part of some plea arrangement. We actually don't have that information. But now Digital Princess feels vindicated. Like, she didn't get prosecuted and she has her kid back. She's probably thinking, hell yeah, I beat the whole internet. So then she
There's still like
decides
2
to make
minutes.
a video to explain to her fans and all the internet her side of the story regarding what really happened that night. Here's the thing about that, though. Digital Princess also makes spicy content over on the OF. And she decides to tweet out that she'll only be releasing her explanation video on her OF. And that if you want to see it, you have to subscribe to her account.
You gotta pay money
And
for
this,
that?
of course, makes people even more pissed off. They're like, you're using your child neglect situation to get people to subscribe to your spicy account? What is wrong with you? And yeah, it does feel pretty sleazy. And so I presume, due to all the backlash, she never releases a video explaining what really happened that night from her perspective on her OF. Although she did make other statements elsewhere. But then, 2 years later, in 2023, a YouTube channel called Explore With Us gets a hold of the police body cam footage of her arrest that night, and they release it to the public. And so the world sees that basically everything the police report had said happened that night actually did happen. Like, no one was making anything up. And so now, today, in 2025, you can go to her TikTok page, and pinned to the top is a sort of apology in text. Sort of an apology. Basically, she admits that she made some bad decisions that night, and that she's learned a lot and grown a lot since then. She seems to be in therapy over it, and, you know, it's not a perfect statement, but it's something. And since then, you know, the drama has died down, and she seems to have won some of her fans back. So, you know, good for her.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, what she did was wrong, and yeah, I'm surprised the charges got dropped. Maybe not enough evidence, but yeah, I guess she'll prove it to everyone if that child grows up to be a normal person. But yeah, some people are just too obsessed with other people's lives. Like, they have no life of their own, so of course they're gonna like say whatever they want online because they have nothing better to do in their lives. Like, even people not even in trouble with the law, people still have something to say. So people are going to complain about anything, whether you're doing something good or bad. Of course, this was a bad situation, so people will like say the most. But even other people online that are just doing good stuff, people are going to complain about that too, because people have no lives. They want to complain over anything. But anyway, that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below. And if you want to see my experiences in Korea, you can check out my first channel, Section V. And if you want to see my other blurry. And if you want to see my other socials, it's right here under my face. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be reacting to another Ray William Johnson video. This is Remember Him. He finally got caught. But yeah, I think it's interesting. He has a lot of titles like Remember Him, Remember Them, Remember blah blah blah. Never seen this man in my life. I don't know who this is. But let's get into the video and see what happened, see what he did. And please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below.
Is about to make millions of dollars by hyping up a product that doesn't exist.
Oh,
now, like
scam.
me, the guy's name is Ray, and Ray is 24, living in Miami, and bro really wants to
Got the
be
same name.
rich, and he's always cooking up some kind of new scheme to make that happen. Like, he's stealing prescription drugs and selling them for a while. Then he and his friends borrow some money and they start a luxury car rental business. And that business does pretty well, but they're young and kind of dumb, and pretty quickly they blow through all their profits and their...
I like how the sparkler stream or whatever is coming out of the bottle. Okay, it's weird.
Their profits and their business fails. And that is when Ray is back to square one, and now he needs a new hustle to make money. And one day
Scammer.
in 2017, one of Ray's friends, this guy, who we'll call Sorbet gets a crazy idea. They want to create a debit card that lets you access your cryptocurrency. That way you can instantly buy stuff with your Bitcoin when you're like out at the store or something. And a debit card for crypto, honestly, it's not a terrible idea.
I was
And so
interrupted
they're
by
gonna
an
create
ad.
a whole fake company and attach it to a cryptocurrency, like a shitcoin. However, Ray, Sorbet, and their other friend, this guy, Farkas, they have
Dang, I thought his name was gonna rhyme. Ray Sorbet and Dang it.
several problems with this plan. One, they know nothing about crypto, nothing about Bitcoin or anything about that space. And two, the very specific technology for a crypto debit card, it either doesn't exist or these guys just don't have access to it. Not in 2017. But whatever, these guys just want to be rich, and they're gonna do whatever it takes to make that happen. And so they come up with this whole ass scam. First, they set up a company.
Okay,
called
Law and
Centrotech,
Order.
completely fake and made up. They make a company website and they make themselves the employees. Here's
Okay, so not them making a whole scam and putting their pictures online so that the whole world can see who is behind the scam.
actually a picture of the three of them all dressed up like they know what they're doing. Then, to make themselves appear more credible, they create fake LinkedIn profiles for themselves, claiming that they're all Harvard graduates. They even make up a fake CEO of this fake company. Like, they literally Google the words old white guy, and they find a random picture, and they post that picture of that guy as the CEO. And so all of this looks legit. And now, all they gotta do is promote it. So they all go into crypto message boards and chat rooms, and they start hyping up their fake company, hoping to get people to invest. Here's the thing, though. Some people do actually invest in this company. Not a ton, but you know, it's something. But about a month or so in, suddenly, pow, their company gets a random endorsement from a somewhat known crypto guru. And overnight, kaboom, their company blows the
Uh-oh.
and suddenly all kinds of people are investing.
Too late
And
to go
they
back now.
have millions of dollars invested in their fake company based on a technology that they don't have. But now there's a real buzz around what they're claiming Centrotech is going to do. So they just run with it. They get a legit office space so they don't have to work out of their bedrooms anymore. They hire like 50 other employees to come work for them. They
Oh
get these
my
fake
gosh.
Centra cards made to use as like promotional materials, like a proof of concept. They even hire celebrities to endorse this card. Like here's Floyd Mayweather endorsing it. They get DJ Khaled to promote it.
But don't they have to pay these people to endorse stuff? And also, I wonder how much money, like, they pay them to endorse it. And, like, dang, how much? I guess I'll find out if I stop pausing.
And so this builds even more hype for their company and makes them look even more legit. Now, what are they going to do with all this hype for their company, considering their product is fake? They're going to try and raise even more investment money. And this is where they start selling CentraCoin, their coin, to the public. And so, bam, their coin goes live. And it's selling fast because they've been generating a lot of hype. And soon, Ray and his friends have raised tens of millions of dollars. And now, with all this...
But, like, now they see all this money coming in and they're not going to stop. Like, they're going to keep going. They're trying to make more money as much as possible. But, and that's probably where they messed up. Because they got caught.
New money, they gotta start spending it. And so Ray is out here buying new tailored suits. He's at the mall shopping every day. He gets a new luxury car. He's all...
I think that's so weird. Like, people make all this money and then the first thing they do is spend it on, like, material stuff. I would just spend money on food.
always like carrying around tons of cash on himself
And
for
drinks.
some reason. I guess just to like show it off. Meanwhile, the guys, they're all promising their investors like, yeah, don't worry, we're gonna get these crypto debit cards out by Christmas. But again, they don't have crypto debit cards because these guys don't have the technology. But they still don't seem to care. They keep spending money because I guess they don't think they're ever going to get caught.
Until how'd I know?
After all this hype these guys have been getting,
Dang. The AI images of them keep getting worse and worse.
reporter for the New York Times starts paying attention to them. And so he's doing his research, and he finds some of their Instagram accounts. And I don't know what they were doing in all their Instagram photos, probably like partying or stunting in their new whip. But whatever it was, this causes this reporter to say, yeah, these guys definitely didn't go to Harvard. And he starts thinking
How he know?
maybe their company isn't legit. And so he wants to hear from the CEO of this company. But remember, the picture
don't
of
exist.
the CEO on the website is just a random photo Ray and the guys found when they Googled old white guy. And so anyway, the reporter reaches out to Ray and the guys, and he's asking them all kinds of questions. And they're like bullshitting him, and he wants to speak to the CEO. And they're making up excuses, and they're like, oh, he's busy. But with all this sudden pushback, Ray and the guys know that eventually people are going to realize their CEO is made up. And then everyone will
This whole
know
company's a
their
scam.
whole company is a fraud. And so they decide to kill off their fake CEO and pretend that he just like died in a car crash. Like they put together a whole press release saying that Michael Edwards, our talented CEO, died in a car accident. And I guess
Okay,
that
with
keeps
his
the critics at
1950s
bay
voice.
for a while. But now the guys have a new problem. They gotta find a new fake CEO. And so they take a picture of Ray's
Wait, the AI,
They gotta find a new
The-
fake
this AI picture of this guy, he kind of looks like the guy on SNL. Please don't destroy. Kind of looks like one of those guys.
CEO. And so they take a picture of Ray's grandpa and they put it up on the website, and they're like,
Not them putting someone else that's related to them. Like they don't want to be part of this mess.
yeah, this guy is now our CEO. But like immediately, some people start looking into it, and they look at Ray's Facebook page, and they find pictures of Ray and his grandpa, and they're like, the CEO of that company isn't a real CEO. They just used a picture of Ray's grandpa. But whatever. I mean, Ray and the guys still don't seem phased because they just keep
They just see the
hustling.
money.
They get a bunch of their employees to start building a fake app that they can use in presentations like, hey, look, our product really works. And through that, they get even more people to invest in their company. I think they actually get like 15 million more. But then, finally, it all starts to go south. Because that New York Times reporter, his article comes out about the company, and kaboom, it blows the f up. And it like brings up their old arrest records and run-ins with the law.
Nothing being in trouble with the law. Okay, that's something new that we didn't know. Dang, they just scam after
And it
scam.
just makes them look, not so good. And around this time is when the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, notifies the guys that their company, Centratech, is now officially under federal investigation. And I guess from here, the guys panic, because within a month, most of the company's employees are laid off. Also, the guys are like fighting amongst one another, and they start draining all the money out of the company's bank accounts. But eventually, the law does catch up to them, and bam, Ray gets arrested. Here's his mugshot. And of course, the other guys, they get arrested too. And now Ray, he ends
where's
up
the
pleading
mugshots?
guilty, and he takes a plea deal, and he flips on the other two. And so Sorbet, he gets sentenced to 8 years in prison, and Farkas, he gets sentenced to 1 year in prison. While Ray, because he flipped on the others, he gets no prison time.
And wasn't this his idea? Dang, that's why you can't trust anyone, because he snitched on the other guys. And also, I wonder if race has anything to do with this, because he's the only white guy in the group and he didn't get anything. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below. And if you want to see my experiences in Korea, you can check out my first channel, Section V. And if you want to see my other socials, it's right here under my face. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be reacting to another Ray William Johnson video. This is Katy Perry Killed This Nut. I saw the title and the thumbnail, and I thought this was interesting because I don't know, I feel like Katy Perry is a nice person, so I don't know what the story is about. Maybe it's just not like clickbait, but it's just a weird title, a weird way to phrase what actually happened. I don't know. Maybe not like physically. Maybe it was like from being shocked about something. I don't know. But I don't think she killed anyone. But also, yeah, I feel like the title could be misleading. So I don't know if it's a safe title to even use for a video, but I'm going to change it for mine. But anyway, let's get into the video, and please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below. I've been reacting to other videos, so I already know I need to turn it up. So let me turn it up a little bit.
Look, I'm not saying Katy Perry unalived a nun, but you gotta hear this story.
Oh.
So this is Katy Perry, the pop star. You know
Okay, it's too loud. Turn down a little bit. Okay.
Katy Perry. And one day in 2014, Katy decides to take some of that pop star money and buy herself a big-ass mansion in Los Angeles. So she looks around and she finds one for sale. This monstrosity. Now, Katy apparently really wants this house. Like, she'll do anything for it. Maybe even unalive someone. I'm not saying she unalived someone, but, you know, just listen to this story. So here's the thing about this house. It is huge. 30,000 square feet. It's even got a pool shaped like a frickin' fish. In fact, this house is so big that it's actually not a house at all. Traditionally, it's been a convent where a bunch of elderly nuns live. And we'll get back to these nuns. But first, we gotta talk about...
Okay, so how did these nuns get all this money to buy a place like this? Interesting.
Catholic priests, specifically ones who diddle boys.
Interesting.
You know what I'm talking about. I mean, abuse
how do they
in the
get all this
Catholic
money?
Church as a whole was rampant for decades, particularly in the archdiocese in Los Angeles. And an archdiocese is sort of like a collection of churches. So this collection of churches in Los Angeles had some pretty serious schmexual abuse accusations thrown at them in the early 90s and 2000s. And
then they tried to make the gays look bad when they're doing stuff behind the scenes. It's always the ones that get the angriest or talk the most about the other groups when they're the ones that are actually doing it or secretly hiding it on the inside. But behind closed doors, they're the ones that are doing the same things that they're publicly telling people not to do. Interesting.
One day, boom, they get sued. And so, in 2007, the Archdiocese agrees to settle with the victims of the abuse and pay them a settlement of $660 million. And so now, these churches need to pay off this huge molestation settlement, so they decide to make some money by selling a property they own. That property? The convent. However, there's a problem.
How much?
Those elderly nuns I mentioned, they live there. And now these nuns, we'll just call them the nuns. There's only 5 of them, but they've been living there for decades. But the Archdiocese is like, whatever, bitches, we own this place. And in 2011, boom, they kick them all out. And this kicks off a whole dispute. Because, see, the nuns feel like they own the property. Because back in 1971, they originally pooled...
I was interrupted by an ad. But, yeah, I was going to say, like, yeah, I wonder how much they paid for it. Because if it was that year, like, I'm pretty sure it was a lot cheaper. But, where they get all this money from?
All of
I thought the money from the church was supposed to go to other stuff.
Using every dollar they had saved. However, for some reason, the Archdiocese feels like the property belongs to them. And because they feel like it belongs to them, they're like, "F you, we're selling it." And that is when in 2014,
whose name is on the building?
Along comes Katy Perry, looking to take some of her pop star money and buy herself a big-ass mansion. And she sees this convent and she loves it. She'll do anything to get it. She wants to turn it into a house. So she offers $14.5 million. And the Archdiocese, they accept, like, immediately. They don't ask the nuns permission or anything.
But how much were they trying to sell it for in the first place? Like, I feel like they would have sold it for cheaper, but she offered that first, and then he was like, oh, okay.
They just agree,
They're probably
and the
gonna
deal starts moving
sell it for a lot
forward.
cheaper.
And so, of course, the nuns are pissed. I mean, they've lived there for decades, and the church is just going to come along and sell it out from under them? And to make it even worse, the nuns look Katy Perry up. I mean, they don't know who she is. They're nuns. And let's just say they are not super impressed with her work. Because, you know, she has songs like I Kissed a Girl and
How did I know he's
You're
gonna bring
So
that up?
Gay. But specifically, in one interview back in the day, Katy Perry made a joke about selling her soul to the devil.
Okay, also, she grew up, she started out as a Christian singer. I feel like she's a religious person also, so that's another topic for another video. But yeah, like all these people practicing the same thing, but they all have different beliefs and stuff, so interesting. But some people are more open than others, I guess, but they all believe in the same thing, so I don't know why it matters. But anyway, yeah, but does it really matter? Like, they're gonna sell the house, or they're getting kicked out of the house, someone wants to buy the house, so does it really matter who is gonna move into the house? Like, I don't understand how that matters, because what if it was a random person that wasn't famous, they're just rich and they want to move into the house? Like, you wouldn't be able to look up anything on them, so why, just because she's famous, doesn't matter that she's moving into the house? I don't understand.
But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
And so the nuns, they can't let this slide.
And that
They
was a
can't
joke.
allow their old home
She's
to
making
be
jokes. She likes to joke
occupied by
around.
someone who sold their soul to the devil. Meanwhile, the archdiocese, to their credit, they don't want the nuns to be upset. They want all of this to go down smoothly. And so they arrange a meeting at the property between the nuns and Katy Perry.
But why? Like, I don't understand. You're kicking them out because you're selling the property. So why does she have to meet them? Like, why do they need their blessing to move into the house? Doesn't make sense.
And so one day in 2015,
It's not theirs anymore
Katy
if she
Perry
buys it.
shows up to the place, and she's trying to charm
And
these nuns.
she already bought it,
insisting
no?
that she didn't really literally sell her soul to the devil, that she's actually a rather religious person herself. And in
What'd I
Katy
say?
Perry's defense, she did grow up in an extremely Christian household. Like,
Yes.
both of her parents were Pentecostal pastors. They were only allowed to listen to gospel music. Her parents were so extreme Christian, she wasn't allowed to refer to deviled eggs as deviled eggs. She had to call them
angeled eggs.
angeled eggs. And I'm not making that
I
up.
heard that story.
And so Katy explains this to these nuns. Then she shows them the Jesus tattoo that she has on her wrist. And I'm not sure how impressed nuns generally are with tattoos, but whatever, she showed them. Then, in order to further convince them of how super Christian she is, she offers to sing Oh Happy Day, a well-known church song, and she's going to sing it a cappella. But she has to pull out her phone to look up the lyrics, which has the nuns giving her the side eye. Anyway, it's a super awkward meeting,
Okay,
and
dang,
the
that's
nuns
weird AI
aren't
picture.
impressed, and their minds aren't changed one bit. However, the
But why does she have to go through the nuns? I thought didn't that guy already sell? Didn't he kick them out? I don't know. I think he mentioned something that he wanted both sides to be happy, so I don't know why it matters. If you're trying to sell a place, it doesn't matter who the next person that is trying to move in, because they're going to pay for it.
Catholic Church is very powerful.
And they're gonna own
They are
it.
Determined to
They're not-
sell
she's not
this
renting the
property
house.
to Katy. And unfortunately, there isn't much the nuns can do.
Until
At some point, the nuns decide two can play at this game. I mean, they feel like they own the property fair and square. And so they come
Whose
up
name
with
is
a
on the
plan
property?
to sell it themselves. And that is when this woman steps in. Her name's Hollister.
Oh.
And Hollister's 54. She's a
looking at this AI picture, it looks like that lady. She's also super religious. She was on Full House. I forgot her name. But yeah, she's also super religious. I thought that was her until they said the name.
rich businesswoman. She owns a lot of restaurants, and she comes along and offers to buy the place from the nuns and keep it open and running by turning it into a boutique hotel. And I guess the nuns are cool with that because they agree to sell it behind the archdiocese's back. So now you have two competing sales of the same property happening at the same time. But whatever, the nuns, they hand over the deed to Hollister, and she moves in right away. And Katy Perry, oh, Katy Perry is not going to let this slide. She feels like her purchase of the place was already in motion and legal. So she's like, oh, hell no. And she files a lawsuit. But not against the nuns, because that would be terrible PR. Like, Katy Perry sues a bunch of elderly nuns. No, rather, she sues Hollister, claiming that her purchase of the place is not legit. And this turns into an all-out legal war. I mean, two wealthy women battling it out in court over this.
Okay, this must be a first world problem, because if you have that much money, you can find another place. Like, I feel like it's not that deep to be suing someone else, because, I don't know, just my personal opinion, but if you have that much money, you can find another place. You can probably build your own place somewhere. I don't know.
Former nun convent, and this legal battle goes on for years.
And
sure
also, if you have to go through all this to buy a place, it's probably not worth it. Like, I don't know. I ain't got time for that.
Stressful for all of them, especially the 80-year-old nuns involved. But in 2017, they finally go to trial. And at the end of it all, a judge rules that the nuns, for some legal reason, do need permission from the Vatican in order to sell the convent.
Whose name is on the
means
place?
Hollister's purchase of the property is invalid. Which means Katy can move forward with buying the house from the archdiocese. She won. And to make it worse for Hollister, right after that, a jury finds that she's also guilty of malice and fraud in her attempt to interfere with the sale of this property. So now she's ordered to pay Katy Perry and the church $10 million in damages. And that is a lot of money. In fact, it's so much money that it literally bankrupts Hollister.
Wait, but what if... Did she know about this? Like, what if she bought the house, she didn't know anything? Like, could she use that as a defense? Or maybe she did. No, I don't know.
Like, she has to go to bankruptcy court.
Dang.
And so then, one day in 2018, she goes to bankruptcy court. And two of the nuns go with her because they're all, like, friends now. I mean, they've been in this lawsuit together for a long time, and they're there to support their friend. And then on the steps of the courthouse, one of the nuns speaks to the news media. And she pleads for Katy Perry to stop. Like, stop with all the legal actions against her friend.
Please stop. It's not.
Wait, what? Okay, that's kind of weird, because she's only doing this, the nuns are only doing this because they don't want Katy Perry to buy the house. But, like, why didn't they just back up? Because she wants the house, let her buy the house. Like, none of this would happen if they just let her buy the house. So why are they playing the victim now? I don't understand.
Anyone any good except hurting a lot of people.
And sadly, those words would be this nun's last words. Because hours later, in the courtroom, she collapses and dies from a heart attack. She was 89.
Okay, so I already knew this title was over-exaggerating. But yeah, I feel like he's talking about Katy Perry suing this lady over a house. You don't think she's not gonna sue him over this title?
9 years old. And one of the other nuns claims the heart attack was caused by stress directly related to this Katy Perry lawsuit. I'm not saying Katy Perry unalived a nun. I'm just saying this other nun thinks so. Anyway, at the end of it all,
none of this would have happened if they just sold the house to Katy Perry in the first place. Like, you are only in this situation because you didn't want her to buy the house, and then you did all this other illegal stuff. So you can't blame Katy Perry.
Katy still needs approval from the Vatican to purchase the property, and they're unable to work out a deal. So her option to buy the place expires, and everyone just kind of moves on. So, in the end, after all that, no one
got the house. And you know what? When she found out that she couldn't get the house, she probably was like, oh, it's fine. I have money. I can go somewhere else. Like, that's what I would have done. Like, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time to go to court over a house when I have enough money to buy another house that I would also like. I don't understand. But yeah, this title is misleading. And like, I feel like the nuns put all that stress and stuff on themselves because you just didn't want her to have the house when. Anyway, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below. And if you want to see my experiences in Korea, you can check out my first channel on SexTV. And if you want to see my other socials, it's right here under my face. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be reacting to another I can't even speak today. His name is a tongue twister. Ray William Johnson. Yeah, this is the downfall of Sean Kingston, and I think I heard about this story like since Wendy Williams was having her talk show. I think she touched on it before, but yeah, it's been a while, so I don't really know all the details, but I think he's been like not paying people back or something. I don't know, scamming people. I don't remember, but his mom is also involved in this. I think recently something came out, like an update or something. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure he'll give the background story, so it'll refresh my memory. So let's get into the video, and please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below.
So Justin Bieber somehow got pulled into this $1 million fraud scheme. And it all starts with this guy, Sean Kingston.
What's going on with Justin Bieber these days? Like, I'm pretty sure he could be innocent in this, but yeah, his name keeps coming up these days. I don't know what's going on.
Sean is 17, living in Florida, and he has big dreams of becoming a rich and famous music artist. And one day in 2007, he makes that happen. He lands a record deal, and he releases his first ever single, Beautiful Girls. You know that song? It goes, beautiful girls. You know that one. And suddenly, kaboom,
Not the auto-tune.
It blows up, and it's a massive hit. It goes double platinum, and the music video gets over 1 billion views on YouTube, and that is when his whole life changes. I mean, he's still a teenager, and he's being treated like a star.
Tell me this is fake. What is this? It looks like a you know those things that people wear, like backstage pass or something. That is too big. What kind of chain? Oh no, it's not even stylish.
And so in 2010, he releases another song
with Justin Bieber.
With Justin Bieber, and this one blows the up too. That same year, he gets a guest spot on a popular Disney Channel show. And so now he's hanging out with huge celebrities, making millions of dollars. He even buys a diamond crayon necklace.
No, what is, like, at least if you're gonna spend money on a chain, at least make it look good. Like, it's too boxy, and no.
Reportedly worth $500,000 that he loves showing off. Not to mention all his designer bags.
I was interrupted by an ad.
Lots and lots.
Okay, yeah, so I think this is part of the story. That's why he's talking about it. All these expensive things. But does he pay for it?
Of luxury cars. And so, as you can imagine, over time, Sean gets very comfortable with this new luxurious lifestyle. And he really
How old is he there? Because apparently he debuted when he was 17. He looks like he's 30 there. Is it like a few years difference, or
his money, but you know, that's
how
fine.
recent is that
He's
video?
making millions. He can buy whatever he wants and no one can stop him. Until years go by and Sean keeps releasing music and he keeps trying to replicate his previous success, but he can't seem to do it.
He also got
have moved on, and his
he also got in like an accident too, right? Like jet ski or something.
Songs aren't really popping off, and his shows just aren't selling like they used to. And that's fine, it's normal. But this is a problem for Sean. I mean, he isn't ready to give up the celebrity lifestyle. He doesn't want to give up the fancy cars or the special treatment or the jewelry. And most importantly, he doesn't want to give up all that
picture.
money. And so Sean comes
Looks
up
so
with
filtered.
a plan that will allow him to hang on to that baller lifestyle he's been living for so many years. He'll just stop paying for shit. And in order
I knew there was
to
something
have
about
this
that.
plan, he gets help from this woman, his mom, who we'll call Mama Kingston. And Mama Kingston, she's gotten used to Sean's celebrity.
Doesn't she look like that lady that I forgot her name. Like, she was recently in Iran or something, Middle Eastern country, I think, from New York, and she was demanding money or something. You know that story online? Doesn't she kind of look like
She's
her?
gotten used to Sean's celebrity lifestyle too, so she doesn't want to give it up either. And she just happens to have gone to prison before for committing a little something called bank fraud. And so she knows a little something about
She didn't learn her
not
lesson.
paying for And so one day, Sean goes to a local jewelry store and he finds a watch he really likes. A watch worth $285,000. And so he talks to the jeweler like, yeah.
I don't even know, like, when people start making money, like, why they, like, go for, like, the cliche stuff, like jewelry and cars and planes, private jets and stuff. Like, if I had a lot of money, I would just live a normal life still. Like, I would upgrade a little bit, but not like to jewelry and stuff that I usually don't wear or need. Like, that's so weird to spend your money on stuff like that just because you have money. Well, I guess if you have money, you can spend on whatever you want, but like, are you just trying to show off you have money? Or I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me, because I would just probably mostly spend it on food.
I'm a celebrity. You might know me from a song I did with Justin Bieber. And Sean starts dropping Bieber's name into this, telling the jeweler that he'll
Name
introduce him
dropping.
to Justin Bieber and that he'll have him at all his red carpets.
That's also dumb too. Like, people are so obsessed with celebrities and stuff. Like, you really fall for that trap? Like, if someone told me, oh, I can introduce you or introduce you to people or take you to events, I'll be like, okay, but you still gonna pay for this?
And his video shoots, and of course Bieber, he doesn't talk
People
to
are weird.
Sean anymore. He probably hasn't talked to him in years, and he has no idea his name is being used in this. Regardless, the jeweler is totally starstruck, like, wow, you know the Biebs? And so Sean offers to pay for this watch with a wire transfer. He then texts Mama Kingston and has her make a fake receipt from the bank, making it look like the wire transfer went through. And the mom sends that fake receipt to the jeweler, and Sean gets the watch.
Okay, the jeweler is dumb also, or whoever got scammed by this is dumb, because don't you get, like, notifications or something when money is sent to your account? Can't you check the account first before you give the item? Like, if it was sent automatically, like, I don't know, I'm confused.
Now, the jeweler thinks the payment will come through in a few days because wire transfers usually take a few days. But of course...
Oh, well, in Korea, it's like instant, so...
the money never comes through. And as stupid as that is, this scam works. In fact, it works so well that Sean and Mama Kingston pull it again. And in 2017, Sean reaches out to another jeweler. This guy, who we'll call AP. And so Sean has a driver pick AP up, and he brings him to Sean's mansion in the Hollywood Hills. Because, you know, Sean's gonna buy some jewelry from him. And Sean and Mama Kingston are there, and AP's looking around at the place like, damn, your house is nice. And Sean's like, yeah, you know, I'm a celebrity.
Does he even own the house?
And he drops Bieber's name again. Like, you know, Justin Bieber's my best friend, and, you know, I'll introduce you. And then AP shows Sean some watches and some chains that he has with him, and Sean wants $500,000 worth, and he takes the jewelry. And then he pays him half up front, and then he's like, hey, I'm about to sell my Range Rover. Why don't you take it and deduct it from my tab? And the Range Rover is actually in Mama Kingston's name, so she transfers the title over to AP. Then Sean's like, I'll get you the rest of the money after I come back from performing in Jamaica. So just chill in my mansion until I get back.
People are weird. Like, if someone claims to be rich, then they would have the money, like, all of the money up front, so why not? He should have known it was a red flag when he couldn't get all the money at one time.
And so then Sean leaves and he goes to Jamaica.
Also, what kind of shadow? Does that even match? Never mind. Too much.
So,
Not
just
even
chill in my
important.
mansion until I get back. And so then Sean leaves and he goes to Jamaica. And AP is just like living there in his house, I guess for a few days. And at some point, AP, he's there and he's just like chilling on the couch, and some random people just come inside the house. And it's a woman, and she's showing
That's
people
not his
around.
house?
And AP's like, what the f are you doing in Sean's house? And the lady's like, who the hell are you? I told Sean and his mom everybody was supposed to be out by today. And AP's like, what do you mean? And she's like, Sean doesn't own this house. This
I think I heard part of this.
Airbnb. And to make it worse, then AP finds out that the Range Rover Sean sold him still has money due on it. So it wasn't even Sean's car to sell. The entire transfer was a scam. And believe it or not, AP never sees or hears from Sean ever again. Oh, but Sean's not done scamming yet, because it's now 2023, and he lives in a big new mansion in Florida. And one day...
Why does he keep spending money on mansions with money that he doesn't have? Like, why not just... I don't understand. Too many questions I won't get the answers to.
He thinks, you know what would go really well with all this jewelry? A big-ass TV. And this is where he really screws up. Because Sean DMs a custom TV company on Instagram, and he tells them he wants a 232-inch TV, which is big enough to cover an entire wall in his house.
Dang.
And so this TV company crew comes over
Huge
to his
TV.
huge mansion, which Sean again pretends to own, even though he's actually renting it. But anyway, they got this humongous TV worth $150,000. This is actually a picture of it.
Dang,
and of course, Sean
that's
is
nice.
talking to these guys.
That would be so fun to play video games on.
And he drops Justin Bieber's name again. Like, oh, you know, you might know me from my song with Justin Bieber. And he tells these guys to install this TV for only a small down payment, and the rest...
These AI pictures are getting crazier and crazier. Like, he looks inflated.
He'll pay on credit. And if they do this, he says that his close friend, Justin Bieber, will come and do commercials for them. As if Justin Bieber is just gonna like stop touring or whatever he's doing and come do commercials for a local TV company in Florida. But whatever, I guess these guys believe him and they trust his word, and they're like, hi. But then, later, the company reaches out to Sean about making further payments on this TV.
And also it's dumb because they install the TV in your house so they know where you live. So, of course, they're going to want their money. So, you can't hide. That's your house. They know where you live. Hello.
Bullshitting them like, oh yeah, come over to my house and I'll give you a check for the rest. Then, when the guys arrive, Sean doesn't answer his door. And this nonsense goes on for several months. And eventually, this TV company realizes that they've been scammed. And so, boom, they file a lawsuit.
Of course, he's dumb.
Him. Oh, and they aren't the only ones. In fact, multiple jewelers sue him as well. Because he and his mom, at this point, have stolen so much from so many people. An $80,000 custom bed, a $160,000 Escalade, apparently $1 million in watches alone. And because fraud is, you know, illegal, the police get involved. And in 2024, boom, a SWAT team raids his house. And they start taking all his stuff and like hauling his cars away. And then, bam, they arrest Mama
Who's that?
Kingston.
Dang.
Here's her mugshot. Meanwhile, Sean...
where'd her wig go?
...is on the other side of the country performing. And right when he gets off stage at this show...
Dang, how old is he now?
While Sean is...
It looks like he's wearing pajamas on stage. Also, are these backup dancers? What are they doing?
On the other side of the country performing.
No, they're not. Why are they on stage?
Gets off stage at this show, bam, they arrest him too. Here's his mugshot. And they both go to trial, and they're found guilty, and as of the date of me filming this video, they have not been sentenced yet, but they both face up to 20 years in prison for each count of wire fraud. So they could be in there for a really long time.
Oh, dang. 20 years for each thing? Dang. See, I don't understand. People get money and then they start spending it like crazy until they don't have any money anymore. Like, why not just save it? And like, you can upgrade your life, but he did it too much. And then he stopped making that much money, and then he tried to keep his lifestyle, but it didn't work out. And that's crazy. That, dang, I wonder how many years they're gonna get, because they mess with too many people. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below. And if you want to see my experiences in Korea, you can check out my first channel, Sexy V. And if you want to see my other socials, it's right here under my face. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.